Thank you. There are a few areas that have an important local dimension as well as an international dimension, such as sport. I really don't think I think it's quite unique in that way that this sector is not really finding an equivalence. And so it's really important that we make sure that we look at the subsidiarity principles and not push down a top-down approach on this. The question that we have to consider, because we are considering what the dimension for sport will be for the very first time, is how we can help the sports movement in Europe, not how can the sports movement help us build the European Union. And I think that there are a number of examples in here that show that the focus is building on a European identity and not really on how we can help sport itself. The suggestion of having a flag, the EU flag, on our national jerseys is just absolutely outrageous to people in the UK. Sport has a huge role in the UK. It's part of our national identities, it's part of our heritage. Scotland, Wales, Ireland, England, none of them have the British flag, let alone the EU flag. So for us, it's a very, very sensitive issue. And that's why it's been reported in the press, because we do feel so passionately about our national teams. You really can't impose a European identity onto people. And I really think that if you go for vanity projects like this, you're really going to turn people off from the EU. I also have serious issues about the creation of a European chamber for the Court of Arbitration. I'm worried that it will damage the reputation that they have. And I'm also concerned about what happens if there's an issue between a European and a non-European party, like physically and logistically how that would work. We really do need to remember that we're doing this for grassroots sport. We have an awful lot of comments that are reflected towards football specifically, and even what's happening today. We're looking at what's going to be happening in a sports dimension in the future, and so we really need to refocus on that. And I am very pleased to see that you focused on training at a local level for players. That is something we need to be focusing on all the time. And of course the dimension of social inclusion and the power that sport has as a tool to bring people together. That's what we really should be focusing on, and not really how we can form a European identity. Thank you.
So, jetzt sage ich ein für alle Mal.
Well, let me say it once and for all. This report is not a report about the European flag. This report does not say where and where not this flag should be. This is a really wonderful report about all kinds of very important issues in sport, and it has one very small proposal or suggestion that this could be done. Now, please, everybody does not need to say time and time again why this should not happen. It probably won't happen, but let's at least make this suggestion that it's just one very small part of this wonderful report. If you have nothing else to say other than just saying that point about the flag, then you know, I think we need to talk about more than just one small suggestion about a flag. We're going to really make ourselves look a bit ridiculous if we just carry on going about that one very small suggestion. I do think we need to be rather more serious, because this is a very serious report, it's a very good report, and it talks about a lot of important issues. Mrs. Davidova.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I would like to praise the rapporteur for a very good proposal. I like it very much. And